Okay, I think that we are ready to start. We are now into the final part of the webinar. So maybe if there are any questions for the previous topic, or in general, maybe we can start the last part by asking these questions, and we can move on. Okay, so if anybody has a question, you can write it in the chat box. Here it comes.
Thank you.
Okay.
There is a wide range of autism, absolutely true. Some forms are stronger, some weaker. Could we describe this difference to the density and spread of information exchange in the brain? And the example of the brain from the beginning of this section, do milder autistic disorders have a lower density of toothpicks? Is this the way we could explain that? Yes, effectively, yes. Where we accept that things like, I mean, there's more to it than that. The toothpick example is one example of the communication within the cortex. There's more going on. But yes, effectively, a lot of the time when people have got what we call milder forms of autism, the toothpicks are spread a little bit further apart and they're slightly taller. So there is a continuum of mini columns. It's not that if you're autistic, your mini columns are always like little fingers, and if you're dyslexic, your mini columns are like arms, effectively, and there's a continuum of sizes and spaces. And yeah, what we tend to do, and this is again this political thing that we have, we identify those people as being autistic when we identify that they do not fit into the world that we've created effectively. And so that's when we believe that the spacing and the size of the mini columns is significant. There's more things going on. The corpus callosum, there's some interesting work on the corpus callosum, as there is with dyslexia, by the way, about what's going on in the corpus callosum. It appears that the communication between the hemispheres of the brain is very, very strong in autistic people as well. So that's part of it. There's also something that leads nicely into the ADHD section we're about to do. There is a lot of research to suggest that while autism is almost completely genetic, let's be very clear about this, it's almost completely genetic, there is research to suggest, and I'm not saying it's absolutely true research, but it's very interesting research, that autism and dyslexia can be at least influenced by certain environmental factors. So one of the environmental factors is when a woman gives birth, how quickly do they clamp and cut the umbilical cord between the woman and the baby. If you clamp the umbilical cord really quickly, that is within 2 minutes, what you're doing is you're depriving the brain of the baby of oxygenated blood. And certain areas of the brain require oxygenated blood faster than other areas. And so where there is only a limited amount of oxygenated blood to go around, there is the suggestion that those areas that require it first miss out. And so one of them is phonological processing, by the way. There are other suggestions that autism can be helped by foodstuffs, which is what we're going to look at now, actually, a well-balanced diet. You can't get rid of autism by balancing the diet. Let me be very, very clear on this. But some of the behavioral problems that autistic people have can be mitigated by a properly balanced diet, in some cases. This leads us very nicely into attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, which indeed often can be mitigated, and we have very good research to say that the problems associated with ADHD can be mitigated by a balanced diet, a combination of behavioral techniques, diet, and in some cases, drugs.